Great, great. Samir's right. I used to take the bus all the way from one side of DC to the next just to get no-showed in dark house. Some of you guys don't know what dark house means. You guys know what dark Zoom means, but it's different when you travel an hour and a half across DC to Southeast, and you're like this short 4'11" Asian lady with like, a suit on and stuff like that. And you're just riding the bus and just crossing borders and stuff. It's crazy. But yeah, I used to, be in a really bad spot as far as like non-qualified market. People were like, man, you gotta be in the qualified market. I didn't have a lot of, people that were married with kids in my direct market. So what I had to do was recruit through people and get into their market, help them build through their market. And it's cool because when you help somebody get what they want here, you get what you want. So it's the best thing about our business. I mean, developing somebody else to get what they want is such a rewarding experience that you don't get in corporate America. So I'm going to go over what I did on the recruiting side for the 6 directs and what I did on the 12-9, right? Which Chandel, it's crazy how close the numbers are. So for the 6 directs, John, Aaliyah, Gabrielle, Daniel, Maddie, Jack, it's a mix of out-of-state people and in-state people. So I started April in the end of March, mindset-wise, right? I knew that what I did the week before April, 2 weeks before April hit, right, that would create momentum for me in the first week of April. So what I did was I started making calls to current clients, because when you build a client base already, the best people to call for referrals are your current clients already. They want to hear from you. So I called a client and said, hey, I just got promoted. I'm opening up a new office now. And I want to ask my clients who the most trustworthy people are you think might be good, working with families. And one of my clients referred her brother, John, who came out to opt, and he submitted his application right away, right, his IBA. Then I was going to see another client that you'll see on the premium side, next slide. And I stopped into a Dollar Tree to just get a gift for their housewarming. And it probably cost me, like $5, because I bought some other things like whiteboards and stuff. But I've never been in a Dollar Tree before. I just walked in there and I was like, let me see who I can meet, right? So I'm in like Waldorf, Maryland. And I know, with a car this time. And I get to the cash register and I look for a compliment from, as a person, if I'm trying to get their number. Because when you compliment somebody first, it opens up, right? It just makes them open and it brings their walls down before you ask for their number. So I said, hey, it seems like you have really good customer service and you could do much better than just being a cashier. She was so like, oh my God, what? Like nobody ever recognized her. I said, do you ever keep your options open for other work? And she was like, yeah. So we did, I asked her to come out and she came out to an up and then submitted her IBA, that's Dollar Tree. Gabrielle actually is a daughter of my client. She's on Zoom right now in Georgia. And one of this client, she was sold a universal life policy and I did an agent confrontation. So she like hates universal life. So she knows like what we do is like super, high value for the community. So I asked her, I was like, who's trustworthy that you feel might be good working with our company? Maybe somebody that needs experience. What about your daughter? She just turned 19, right? She has a child. Maybe she can work from home. She goes, you know what? Yeah. So she referred Gabby and Gabby's on her way to getting licensed. Daniel at H&M, I went in and bought some pants because I like color coordination in my closet. So when I don't go prospecting, I actually go shopping. And I prospect while I shop. I live a pretty expensive lifestyle, so I need to be successful. But Daniel was my cashier, and we're just talking, and I like to negotiate discounts everywhere I go. So I get to the register, and Daniel over here, the other Daniel, right? He's like, how do you negotiate? You don't get unless you ask, right? So I'm just joking around. I'm like, hey, my birthday just passed. Also, I got promoted. Do I get a promotion discount? Yeah, the guy's like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry. Don't I get a birthday discount? So he's like, you know what? I got you. I was like, man, you're really great. Because you gave me a discount, I'm opening up an office. Would you ever be open to a work opportunity? He was like, wow. So it was more like you did me a favor, so I'm going to do you a favor now. Right? I flipped it. He came out and recruited a guy too. But Maddie is actually a daughter of my client. So I called my client in the beginning of April. She moved to Texas from Maryland. And I just did a follow-up call. And Maddie's birthday was coming up. And I do a search in my database to see whose clients' children turn 18 soon. Because the 18-year-olds are the ones killing the company now, right? Numbers. So I want younger people now. I want younger people that don't need to think so much about everything and haven't been beaten down so much. I'm not going to, neglect other people, but I do understand the market, right? So I asked her, I was like, hey, what is your daughter, what does she have planned coming up? Happy birthday to her. She's like, wow, yeah, she'll prom, this and that. We're catching up. I said, does she have anything lined up after high school, like for experience? She goes, no. And I said, what do you think about her, working part-time from home with us? She's a client. She already understands our company works, right? And so she was like, yeah, absolutely. So I set up a one-on-one Zoom up front, and 5 days after her birthday, and Maddie said, I don't need my mom there. She already told me everything. And she submitted her IBA. So she's then Jack, my client, I needed on month end, we have this thing in our team called month end monsters, because at the end of the month, it's so funny. Some people run and they hide from their coach at the end of the month. Like if I ask you, what do you have? And you don't answer me until 5 days after month end, I know who I'm dealing with, that I'm not able to count on you just yet, at least. But the people that hit the board on month end, those are the people that we can count on, because they're playing to the final whistle. If you're in a football game and you're in the field and you got 2 minutes left, right? Are you just going to like lay down in the field and just give up? No, right? You're going to play with the team to the final whistle and trying to get another score. So this was a month end move. I texted my client, Jack, and I said, hey, are you scared of taking tests? He goes, no, why? Did he even take a test for you? I was like, yeah, actually. And I called him. He was like, you know what? I was wondering when you're going to ask me to join the team. I was like, really? He was like, I just took a pay cut. Listen to this. Before he took a pay cut, he made $400 grand in corporate America between 2 IT jobs. He said he took a pay cut because he was stressed. They were giving him more responsibilities, offering him more money, but he didn't want to take the responsibility because it would take time away from his son. He's a single dad. So he took a pay cut down to 250 and quit the job to get a job at AU just to do something meaningful. So he was like, I'm tired of IT. I want to learn how to help people. I was like, you're right. So I gave him the silent partner offer, but he was like, no, I actually want to work. I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, he got his ticket to the event, everything. He's excited to learn. So he just started. So those were the mix of directs. Now I did 17 with the help of our team that were in the field, and a bunch of referrals as well. So a lot of these MRMs still came from apps, COD apps that got submitted in April. So one of the things, and I like how Matt and Mia talk about resources, POL for $25 a month should be charging us more, because when you have clients, they update you on certain things with your clients. You just got to press the button and check it out, right? So there's a child conversion button, and it tells you when the child's turning 25 soon. When you do a child conversion, it's a new app. You get production. I didn't know that. And so I did a $20 conversion, and then the $60 app came from Autry. He did a one-on-one.
Just pick a few that you can talk about.
Okay, so I put the dates on here so you guys can see that it's not that much, of a work. It's really a couple hours. I didn't do like 5 appointments every single day. So if you look at it, Peter took 1 appointment for me. That was a current client we converted to the new term right now. And that's because he speaks Vietnamese, as you guys heard last time. Crystal brought in an MRN, right, that we split. So that was awesome. That came in like the last day of March. And all the FTOs are field training. So if you can see, field training. Keto was also field training here that, Balworks is now field training. All of these mostly are field training here. It's not a lot of current clients that I just did extra business on, but if I didn't have field training for whatever reason, I could still call and make something work, right?
What is this 181 increase?
So I actually contacted a client for their birthday. I like birthday moves. And I was like, hey, what's going on? She told me they just bought a house. They actually ghosted me, like a year and a half ago while they were in the process of, getting their house together. She said, we have so much more debt now. I was like, what about, let's just do an appointment and let's just figure out how to get your debt down, right? That was all I set it on. And I said, now that you have a house, how much coverage? Let's check your coverage really quick. If something were to happen to you, you want to keep this house, right? So we increased both her and her husband, $1 million on him, 500 on her, for 181 total.
Nice.
So, but I meant to help them first in the debt area that we don't get paid on, and just went through the F&A. That's another tool too that we can train owners. Samir does a really good job. I actually do a good financial needs analysis because of Samir's training years ago, right? I just watched the reporting and that was it, So as far as these both areas with new people, if you're brand new, it's really easy to get overwhelmed by everything we do. So this is all that you have to focus on. This is my last slide. Okay, so there's only recruiting and there's clients, okay? In every business, you got to get licensed, but you have to build a team and also have clients coming in to stay in business. Those are the only two areas you need to build skill sets in. Don't complicate it, right? So on the recruiting side, how do you recruit somebody? The best way is to bring Shondell to an off meeting and put her in front of the best person, Samir, instead of Mike trying to recruit her and not being able to answer all her questions. Isn't that true?
Yep.
And if you think about you as a hardworking person, don't you deserve to hear from the best person possible by any opportunity? So it's completely selfish that you try to explain everything to your person. Bring them here, right? They'll figure out if they want it or not. So it's you first showing up and you plus 3, bringing 3 each, that's your 10 in attendance right there. Once you have 10 in attendance, that's when you take off. Nobody in this room understands, I don't think so, scientifically, why 212 degrees is the boiling point for water. I don't know, right? You don't understand why 10 is the boiling point either, but it's okay. 10 is the magic number here. That's when your business starts to boil. Get 10 in the room. And appointments on the client side, many people, they try to figure out, oh my God, I don't have anybody to set. I don't have this, I don't have that. There's all these issues. You can really just solve your issues by staying for the blitz from 11 to 11:30 and watching people book appointments and seeing who they're calling. That's literally how I learned how to book appointments. And then I pick their brains. That's it. The people that don't stay for blitz, they don't ever get high on the scoreboard. But if you want to, who wants to be number 1 on the scoreboard? Okay, there should be a lot more people staying for blitz, booking appointments throughout the week. There should be. Because if you're saying you want that, you shouldn't be scurrying off, okay? This is a moneymaker right here. This 30-minute period, it sounds small, it's a really big thing. But Saturday to Friday is how we set our week. So what I like to do, I thought I edited my slide, but by Wednesday, I like to have at least 5 appointments booked for the next week. Okay, so by Saturday, I learned this from another person in the hierarchy, and she told me that if you just book 5 appointments by Wednesday for the next week, you're not calling new people on Saturday, you're just calling to confirm the appointment on Saturday. Then whatever's not confirmed, you book new appointments in that slot. That way you know how to build a profitable week. And that's how you know where your income is guaranteed. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I hope that helps everybody.